Hey folks, so we're up at Jack's Peak, just slightly inland, about 15 minutes from where our hotel is in Monterey. I just thought I want some trees and I want to be up higher to get away from the midday heat. So let's go in and see what there is. There's going to be different birds. There are going to be different birds up high. And I've got a couple of lifers up here. Always got the Merlin running. I'm going to do things back to front. I'm going to do this fresh while I just got it. It's down by the car park. So the Jack's place is like, yeah, one of those classic things you see in the American films, those picnic areas out in the woods. Picnic area, car park, there's toilets, benches, things like that. No facilities up here. I said to Anna when we were having our look at this for the vloggers, steak and eggs, big steak and eggs with lots of potato for breakfast. And she had a coffee and I said, I'm going to save my coffee for when we're out. If we find a cafe, it'd be nice to sit somewhere. That's the usual process, have a coffee. But if you come into Jack's Peak, no facilities in terms of shops. They're missing a trick. But then again, I've only seen about 5 cars up there. So it's not exactly like we've got business flying past them all the time. But I didn't realize how high up. It's amazing how fast you go up in the world, the elevation, because it looks like we're up a giant mountain from this point of view. Just see the whole of Monterey. I mean, it's not very busy. The noise that's going on in the background is the usual California scrub jay. Apart from that, very, very quiet. But there were the first tree in the car park, a lot of little movement in there. And what I'm finding here, particularly, are the yellow-rumped warblers are the bird everywhere. They're like I don't know, what would be the most, I mean, for the size, a blue tit, basically. That's how many there are. And in there was a little bird moving around. I thought that looks like a goldcrest. So that, I hope, is one of those kinglets that I always see when I'm in the UK and I'm watching Twitter. And we always have a little discussion with the Americans. Oh, that looks like our goldcrest or our firecrest. And I thought it might be the vireo that I got a couple of days ago. But it did show up on Merlin, so I'm pretty convinced it is what it is. I'll examine the photos more in detail. But this is way smaller than the bird I saw, the vireo. I saw at near the beach a couple of nights ago. And apart from that, it was showing up something called a Bewick's wren, B-E-W-I-C-K-S wren, and no problem. It was making loads of noise and it came out. I'd got loads of pictures to start with. This is the rule now. I'll get pictures first. And then I was set for filming so I could record some of its call, but it wouldn't come back out again. But very active. I might get it again when I go back up to the car park. So 2 little lifers there for this trip up, which has made it worth it already. But as you can hear, nothing else going on. It's saying, oh, I have seen a couple of dark-eyed juncos. There's a couple of numerous ones up here. Cedar waxwing, we're going to get to that. Hairy woodpecker, nuttals. I've got a nuttals. Right, we're going to go back. Let me go back to my notes. So the airport is really loud up here as well. So in the morning, popped off for about an hour to Laguna Grande Regional Park, just around the corner from our motel where I went yesterday, and it was that much more busy. Merlin, my Merlin app, I'm going to put it up on the screen for the vloggers. I'll call it out for the podcast as well. It was just rolling. It was just going bananas, and I was pulling my hair out like, where? And fair enough, I think I got 2 lifers, maybe 3. Fair enough, I got 2 or 3 of them. Let me see if I got it here. So from the bottom up, it went yellow-rumped warbler, obviously golden crown sparrow, a white crowned sparrow everywhere, lesser goldfinch. Now, I've got those in LA last time I was there, so no panic, I couldn't see those. American crow, obviously, song sparrow, obviously, Townsend warbler, got that as well. Canada goose on the lake, house finches everywhere. American goldfinch, I don't believe I have a pure American goldfinch. I've got the lesser, but I don't think I've got the pure. Loads of the chestnut-backed chickadees. I managed to just fill up with loads of photos. I didn't bother filming. The light was horrendous. I've been playing, if you've seen one of my vlogs where I speak about going pro, which is manual mode with auto ISO, I tell you, I'm not getting along with it at all. I'm having to almost go back fully manual. It just can't cope when there are lots of changes of light. Dark-eyed junco, this was in the park as well. Orange crown warbler, I've seen a few of those. Yeah, I'm still yet to see one with the supposed orange crown on it. Anna's hummingbird, yeah, they're always the hummingbird you see. Black phoebes, very popular, jumping around the picnic area on the lake, grabbing bugs out of the sky. Pine siskin, didn't see that. Second time a red-shouldered hawk has come up on the Merlin as the bird of the day. Now I did get a semi-okay backlit shot in LA last time, so it won't be a lifer, but some better photos is what I'm looking for. Scaly bested munia. I've seen those in other countries, not a big deal. I've seen them in Malaysia, I've seen them in the Caribbean. Great-tailed grackle, one of the birds here, and a house sparrow. Red-winged blackbird. I'd like that. Now, I better be careful because I could mistake one of the brewer's blackbirds or the grackles as one of those and ignore it, because I think it looks like the red is on the scapulars. So if it's flying and I'm underneath it, I won't see it. Now the cedar waxwing, excellent. I was like looking from a distance and I saw a bird land on the top of the tree and got my camera on it, and it was a waxwing. It had to be cedar because we get the bohemians, don't we, in Europe. So it was so difficult to focus through these branches and hold it. I think I got one 90%er that was sharp. There was I think 4 took off eventually. There was a point where one landed on a nice branch, and I'm angry now because I could have taken a picture and I chose to try and set the video up and it was gone. I should have taken a picture. But the killdeer, yeah, it's come up as a killdeer. That must have flown over, but we saw that yesterday. Orange crown warbler, black phoebe, pine siskin going down, cedar waxwing. Barn swallow, okay, but I didn't see that. I haven't seen anything like that. California scrub jay, one landed literally at my feet and I was able to film it for quite a while, because what it did is it came down with an acorn, looked around, pushed it into the grass, into a hole, and then picked up multiple items around itself to plug over the top of it. Lovely bit of behaviour there. And then I got some photos when it picked up another acorn, really nice sharp ones. I went a little bit slow on the shutter speed because I was in the shade, but those I can already see they're going to clean up really well. A western bluebird, I already got that. I didn't mention it the other day. Reddish chest, not as, I think it was female because it was slightly duller. And a red-breasted nuthatch, I've got that right. I said hatch, didn't I? Red-breasted nuthatch, I said, didn't I? Nuthatch. I got that in Las Vegas, so not a big deal. The Berwick's wren, good, I got that here. So pygmy nuthatch, we got that the other day. Baltimore oriole, I've got in Costa Rica. Hooded merganser, that would have been great. I looked out on the lake, I didn't see it. Must have been flying over. Red crossbill, didn't see that. Common raven, yeah, seen loads. Red-eyed vireo, I've got in Costa Rica. And the downy woodpecker is my other lifer. So awesome. And then, yeah, sorry, I'll show you, I'll talk about this. The downy woodpecker showed, it very obviously flew and landed in the branches on one of the trunks. And it spent ages, I'll overlay the footage now, spent ages trying to get through all these branches. It wasn't scared of me because it was moving around, but I just couldn't get a clear shot. It was all this kind of harsh shadows and bright sunlight. And eventually it went into a sort of area where it was pure shadow, which is good for the exposure of the whites. And I was able to film it pecking away at the trunk. We've got another like 2 and a bit weeks, probably, yeah, 2 and a bit weeks here. We're going to, all of those birds, most of those birds you're going to see in the whole of California. So I'll get plenty of opportunity. The last time we were here for 8 days. LA and Vegas, it was a bit of a rush. This is a long holiday. I'm going to get a lot of stuff. But there you go. That's a really good catch up. I'm glad to be doing it at this point, but I've chosen to do it because there's not much to look at. I'm listening for birds. So I thought, let's get this done now so there's not a mad rush panic at the end of the day. yeah, I can only hear the scrub jay. So, and we're going to get on with it. Speak to you later. And just to edit that back in quickly, I almost forgot. Another birder said, if you look on the embassy hotel on the top of the Y, peregrine falcon. I was really far. I didn't want to walk all the way around there because we were going to go to breakfast soon. So I just plonked the camera on the tripod with the 4K crop mode and filmed it. And actually it had a little scratch, a little poop, wing stretch. So that is nice bit of footage. Usually you just get like the bird sitting there looking and doing the head bob. And that's pretty decent. But he says it's there most days. So for anyone who comes there, we actually walked past there yesterday morning. And if I'd have known it was there, I would have been able to get closer. But I mean, not going to beat the peregrine falcon footage, as you know, from what I got in the UK. Now, car's starting up and probably coming down, but yeah, awesome. So anyone who comes there, the Embassy Hotel, Embassy Suites, look on the, I don't know if it likes the Y in particular, but anyway. So did stumble on another little place opposite Jack's Peak. I mean, it technically is Jack's Peak, but the signs, when we got to the top of the T-junction, it said turn right to Jack's Peak, which we did. And I'll just add from there, if you want a dark-eyed juncos, this is the place. They're everywhere. They come down for drinks, come down to the picnic tables. Yeah, I've got loads and loads of videos, as you're seeing on the vlog, and plenty of photos. I'm already bored of them. I don't think I got any really good ones the last time I was in America, and now I'm bored with them already. Yeah, they're all over the Jack's Peak place and this. So what I thought this was a maintenance area, because the sign said something maintenance corporate, something go that way left. And we turned down here, and I just thought I'd go for a drive and listen out the window for anything moving, because the Jack's Peak area died off pretty quickly. They came in here and wait a minute, there's a toilet there. There are picnic tables, legitimate picnic tables. So it's a proper area, you know, a proper big car park. But we sat there and nothing was going, it was quiet. The Merlin wasn't picking up anything. And you see what I'm doing there. The flies are incessant. They don't seem to be bitey, but they're a pest. You can't sit still for 3 seconds. I'm constantly walking around. I need one of those things they use in the Middle East. Those flagellation things. But anyway, it turned out to be a little gold mine. The first thing, I was just almost falling asleep. I was so bored. We just thought we'd stop and take a rest, because it's been a manic couple of days. And then birds, I started seeing things moving around. Checked my phone, I put it on the top of the car, and it started reading pygmy nuthatches. I went, okay. And then a raven, and then some sort of raptor went over, but I missed that. Probably the red-tailed hawk. And then one of the trees, just at the end of the car park, I sort of knew straight away what it was. Western bluebird. And this time the male with all the blue. It's not a lifer because I've got the female, but I've got the male, or the full-on male, and it looks beautiful. And there are several here hunting for flies. I did actually manage, sorry, I'll get to that in a second. There's lots going on here. But yeah, I put my camera on the tripod, I hand filmed, got them on the ground, got them on branches. They seem to be one of the tamer birds. Beautiful. But again, the female very muted in comparison. And then listening out I saw a couple of blackbirds fly in, and I thought, right, we're still looking for that the jay, for goodness sake, I've forgotten the name of it. Anyway, the one with the red on the wings. Anyway, but that's why I'm confused, because this is the Steller's jay. Followed them over, and they went over to the other side of the car park where the road comes in, and they made their way down, and they were going for a drink. Good. So I got some photos and video going to the little fountain. Brilliant. That's how so I stood there for a little while thinking, this is obviously a little prime location. Birds from all over are going to come down in this heat to drink from here. So I waited and waited. This one's probably going over to have a drink as well. He's just gone off to my left for you podcasters. And I waited, and suddenly there was this massive ruckus behind me. And all these birds, about the jay size, came out of the bush. And I thought, are they the jays? Were they sort of hiding down there? And I thought, I don't know, it never occurred to me to be quail. But I just went over, I sort of popped over. I thought, hopefully there'll be some movement on the ground. And as I looked at the top of the bush, there was a head moving around. I went, no, I couldn't see it because it was in shadow. I had to adjust the exposure to see what it was. And it was one of the quails. And I thought, is it the Gamble's quail that I saw in Vegas? Now, this one had a very short little feather at the top, very, very short. The Gamble's had a long one. So I thought maybe juvenile. But I looked down at my Merlin and it pulled up California quails. Okay, another lifer. Steller's jay a lifer, California quail's a lifer. and the blue jay, and the bluebird, the western bluebird. What a gold mine this little place has been. So like I said, you want to come here and you get your dark-eyed juncos, bluebirds, this is the place, a little spot away from anybody. Bring food and coffee if you need it. But it stood still for so long, I managed to put a tripod on it. That's how long it stood for. Amazing. Couple of photos as well. And it's picking up, I've seen a couple of pygmy nuthatch. And anything else is picking up. I think, yeah, there's some ravens going over. And there's a look. Sorry, I'm just, a few podcasts, I'm looking at my phone. Yellow-rumped warbler, which is the standard bird here. Cedar waxwings, I'm still looking for a better photo of those. And that's it, just the dark-eyed junco, the Steller's jay, and the California crow. It hasn't pulled up the western bluebirds there. Obviously hasn't heard its call. Yeah, and some sort of, I was going to say grosbeak or finch. Filmed it up above my head. You should be able to tell from there. I put it through Merlin and it said some sort of house finch. I was like, oh no, it just doesn't have the wren on it. But I don't think it is. I thought the beak was too big. And I think I'll have to, there's several other finches, like the house finch, without their red. So it could be a female juvenile of another type of finch. So it's going to be some detective work tonight. And for you vloggers, it's going to go across the bottom of the screen. Because that way I don't forget, like I've done in previous podcasts and vlogs where I've said, I'll find out later and tell you, and I never do. So it's just going to go bottom of the screen from now on, okay? Anyway, we're going to go find some coffee by the beach. We're done here. This has been awesome. I'm going to put this in as a little spot in future when we come back here, okay? Now this is a bit cool. Hopefully, I've stepped out very carefully not to spook them. There's a big bath for pelicans. They're coming in all the time. It's amazing. I'm just stepping out very casually. I'm trying to build their trust. A few looked a bit funny and flew off when I first got here. And yeah, so. I don't know how this is looking, but on the screen, because the lighting's a bit hard. I'm all surprised though, it does look good on the computer afterwards. It handles the dynamic range a lot better than I think it's doing. Yeah. A couple of hundred pelicans, probably some Herman's gulls, California gulls, and the western gulls, some Canada geese over there, maybe some American geese. Fabulous. This is, yeah, sorry. We're in Carmel. Enunciate. Grabbed the coffee, came down to the beach to have a look. You can't park anywhere near here. But my Merlin's going off. Killdeer, California gull. Oh, ring-bill gull. I think I need one of those. American crow, black phoebe, house sparrow, house finch. I saw those over there. So in this light, it's going to be very difficult to tell a ring-bill crow. Yeah. I'm not sure if there are white pelicans in there as well. I don't think they flock together with the eastern brown. But we're going to go and I'll show you the beach after this. I'm going to show you this. I'll pick you up and walk you around this interesting structure. One moment. Just going to keep you out of the sun. I don't know what these are. So get out of the sun there for a moment. Some sort of little abode. I mean, what? I won't even know how to guess. I thought when we were coming in, there's another one over there, that these sticks were something to do with bonfire night and they were going to set it on fire. Actually, they don't, wait a minute, Justin, you moron, they don't have bonfire night in America. Do they? Oh my gosh. No, they don't. No, they only do Halloween here, don't they? Okay, what are these ducks coming in? Probably mallards. Wow, look at, okay, we're going to get some sun flare, but who cares? Look at this. Across the sun, lovely. Wow. Imagine it. Oh wow, there's a huge flock coming in. Okay, we'll get ready for this. This is amazing. But let's have a look. There's a name for this. Is the southern part of Carmel, and it is Carmel River State Beach. Right, public restroom, Porto La Crespi Cross. Yeah, there's a cross up there. Oh yeah, so look at the normal coming in. Dozens of the whole. Right, okay, right. Now this makes sense. When we were on the beach the first night, and I was wondering where all the pelicans were flying to. They're obviously coming here for a wash, right? And then where do they go from here when the sun sets? I don't know. It seems to be a constant rotation, so you think this would fill up really quickly. But obviously, so the ones that came in before have a quick wash and then they get going. Yep, more. Just astounding. I always think when I'm in places like this, imagine there are 8 billion people in the world and I'm the only person standing here. And it's not even that remote a place. If I lived here, I'd be out with my coffee every evening. Anyway, we're going to have a wander around and see if there's anything else to have a look at. Wow, so many pelicans coming in.